Drafting Bijan Robinson could be the biggest mistake for your Dynasty team. Think about it. Out of every 4 Dynasty teams with the number 1 rookie pick, I would argue that at least half of those teams should not be drafting Bijan Robinson, and honestly, that number is probably higher. Now you may be thinking, Chris, how can you say that? Bijan Robinson is the number 1 pick in all rookie formats. And to that last statement, I completely agree with you. But not for your Dynasty team. Allow me to paint a picture for you. There you are, staring at your last place Dynasty team, wondering how it all went wrong. But as you scroll down to your draft picks, you get a glimmer of hope as you hold the coveted number 1 pick. Bijan Robinson, the once-in-a-generation running back talent, seems like the perfect solution to turn your fortunes around. Or is he? The fact is, most teams with the number 1 pick need more than just a generational running back. And when you consider that most Dynasty leagues these days are superflex and likely only require you to start 2 running backs, the chances of Bijan Robinson completely turning around your Dynasty team seems very unlikely. And that doesn't even factor in the risk associated with the running back position. The harsh reality is most running backs peak at the age of 25 or 26. And we have recent examples of this with players like Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and Joe Mixon, all who were once elite running backs and all who now seem to be on the backside of their careers. History has also shown time and time again that running backs are more prone to devastating, season-ending, and career-altering injuries. Just look at guys like Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, and Breece Hall, to name a few that have occurred recently. You're much better off building your team around high upside, young wide receivers, and proven stud quarterbacks. Most Dynasty Championship teams are not built on a foundation of running backs. In fact, I'd argue that maybe outside of the tight end position in most leagues, the running back position is the least impactful position in all of Dynasty football. And they have the shortest shelf life. So if your team is still a few years away from contending, or possibly even longer than that, does it really make sense to waste a running back's prime for a team that is not in contention? The answer is a resounding no. You'd be better off trading that first round pick for a young franchise quarterback whose value may be slightly depressed right now, such as Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, or even Justin Herbert. Get yourself a player who can anchor your fantasy team for the next 8, 10, or even more years. Or trade back to the number 3 pick and snag one of CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Plus, if you add another high leverage pick to the deal, which you should, you can also draft a promising rookie wide receiver and have your team well on the path to contention. Because let's face it, nobody's winning their Dynasty League when their best players are Isaiah Pacheco and Brian Robinson. Now you may be looking at that last team and saying, my team is not nearly that bad. And you're probably right. But even a team like this one, with good pieces such as Travis Etienne, Brandon Ayuk, Rachaad White, David Njoku, Jacoby Myers, and others, would still benefit from passing on Bijan Robinson. Without a true franchise quarterback, or really any true elite franchise players, this team needs multiple upgrades at multiple positions to be a true contending team. There is no guarantee Bijan Robinson will still be elite or even still be healthy when or if that ever happens. But fear not, all hope is not lost for teams with the number 1 rookie picks. There are certainly teams that I think should and really must draft Bijan Robinson. Take this team, for example. With Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones as young, talented fantasy quarterbacks, Kenneth Walker and J.K. Dobbins still in their primes, and 2 promising young wide receivers in Michael Pittman and Garrett Wilson, paired with the ever-reliable Cooper Kupp, this team could be ready to contend this year by adding Bijan to the mix. And even if it doesn't work out this year, this team still has enough youth and upside to make the most out of Bijan's prime years. Or what about this team, which has spent the last 2 years rebuilding and now has youth and upside and may actually be one generational running back away from having a true dynasty? And as someone who is also in this league, the thought of this team adding Bijan Robinson absolutely terrifies me. So if you're looking at your dynasty team and realizing not even a generational running back like Bijan Robinson can save it, and you're not sure what a fair return for the number 1 pick should be, check out this video right here where I break down what you should do with every first round pick in Dynasty.